So, Patreon questions.
All right, let's go through these.
All right, so from last podcast. First up, G to the next level. What are some of your favorite video game intro sequences? Like cutscenes or cinematically when you start a game and then you get engrossed and fired up to play after watching?
Oh, without doubt, Resident Evil 1.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
The movie, the FMG. I used to get so hyped. They have the...
Full motion gangbang?
It was... Damn it, Jim. FMG. You know what I meant. Shut up.
I just had to find out.
But no, I basically look at it like it was a legit, fairly well produced, but very cheesy. Had that like 90s hard guitar, like heavy metal at the end. It just got you hyped first going into that game. And that's the one that sticks out the most, probably because it's my favorite game also.
Yeah, and even with the title screen where it's, Chris going down the hallway and then it just zooms in on him.
And the eye, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I guess a quick one I'll go with will be the original Rogue Squadron on N64 because what?
I'm not saying nothing, Jim. I'm being respectful.
Because when you see it comes up with the Lucasfilm logo, but then it actually turns into the playfield with TIE fighters and X-Wings and a level of this Star Wars fandom that you really didn't see before in a 3D space like this to that point on a console. So it's a thing that's like, oh, this is what I'm getting into. This is going to be awesome.
Okay, Jim. I'm not... Did I say anything? Did I say anything?
You didn't have to say anything.
I'm just
said it with your whore eyes. That's what you said it with.
Listening, Jim. Don't judge me.
No, yeah. I don't think I'm the one judging right now, Brian. That's not how it's coming off right now.
The people will know.
Oh, I'm sure they will. All right, next question. Good one, G. Thank you. From Game Whisperer Dean. Did you know that Super Mario Bros. 2 was originally released in Japan as Doki Doki Panic? Brad, did you ever hear that?
Never heard it.
Did you ever hear about that?
Jim, I certainly never heard it from the nerd or from you or from anybody else.
I'm going to have to fact check this.
I don't buy it. It's all bullshit.
Nah, that never happened. All right, from Eric Lewacki. Earthbound is overrated. Changed my mind.
No, it is.
I mean, everyone, you know what? I've never played it because, RPGs are terrible games, but when it comes to talking to my RPG friends, almost all of them say Earthbound is overrated. I don't know if they're speaking in terms of what it costs to, how people talk it up or just in general.
Yeah, I mean, whenever somebody's silly enough to put out the price that, that this game has gone for, aka people are like,
No, I got mine in a bundle.
I know, but my point is you overpay for shit, and then once you do, you all of a sudden find value, and it's a much better game than maybe it was. Whereas if it was $1 game, it would not even be considered. Like, maybe then it would be considered underrated because then it would be like, oh, this is actually a pretty solid RPG.
Right. But
for the price and for other RPGs of the time, I would take Chrono Trigger over that any day.
I think most would.
Yeah, so.
Or Final Fantasy VI or stuff like that. Like, Earthbound has its fans and it has its charm, but
it's fine. I'm not even suggesting it's a bad game. It's just definitely overrated.
Right. All right. Gamer Astral. When do you think Polymega will finally release its system? It seems like it's been ages since it was announced. Has your mind changed about it? It was I think it was like a month ago. Like, they went radio silent on Twitter for like a good couple months. Like, I want to say from like September, maybe early October of 2019 until like maybe the end of December this year. When they're like, oh, it's coming. And lately their marketing has been like showing a picture of like the slot for the Genesis console or like the controllers and just saying controller, game slot, shit like that. So they're still talking about it, and I'm guessing it's still going to be coming out, maybe this year, but they still haven't really given any concrete info yet.
So I just looked it up, and multiple sources are reporting that as of today,
What's today?
Well, as of this article, January 22nd. So technically by today, Polymega is getting beta units and signups are open now.
Oh.
So they're, I guess, trying to move. I think the problem with all these companies is when you start developing a product, you obviously need input from the public and you need interest very early, and you want to show demos and you want to show all the cool shit it can do. But I would be like very reticent to say, like, you better start waiting till you're 80% almost done and then release, so that way people aren't waiting all the time.
But I mean, it was also a Kickstarter project too.
I know, but like my point is, even with the Kickstarter, say, okay, thank you for your funds. Now we're working towards X, but don't give any false promises. Don't give away too much, because if you reveal too much, as we've seen with especially in the video game industry, how many crazy amount of games have been delayed? How many developers have pushed back consoles? Like, it happens over and over. And it's like, Polymega, it felt like they had a lot of steam behind them. And like everything, I'm sure there was something that happened in development that can just fuck it up royally. So,
especially when it's like, it's ambitious. It's an ambitious system. Yeah. So they're trying to do everything. So I get it. And also they've had their PR snafus here and there. So I don't know. It's been kind of a weird development cycle for this thing.
But
not as bad as the Atari VCS, mind you.
This is the same old story all the time. Like, what was that Coleco and Television thing?
Coleco Chameleon.
Yeah, like, how many of these systems are we going to keep seeing making these promises or trying to throw out things when they're not really there yet?
Yeah, actually in Television, I think it was today, started their pre-orders for the Amico, so you can get, like, the Founders Edition for a $100 refundable, like, down payment, basically.
Which I'm fine with Kickstarters. I'm fine with all that. But don't try to make it so public and be throwing so much out there. Just stick to your Kickstarter, release info when you're much closer to the finish line.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still interested just in the base unit for the Polymega, just for the CD unit itself.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like that CD, that like emulator console, like, I think it kind of came and went. I don't even remember what happened to that thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
We talked about it ages ago, but...
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. I just think, do the gym model. He knows he's not going to perform well and take whatever avenue you want. And so
it's not wrong.
He's not really going to sell it, but then there are some things he oversells and then he undershoots. So, you know, under promise.
I mean, I got nothing. Wife's a good woman. She deals with a lot.
I'm not saying nothing.
Gives me these wonderful gifts. These wonderful gifts of beer. Poor girl. Anyway, moving on to the next set of questions. So for this podcast,
yep.
Gamer Astral, Red Bull or Monster? Red Bull? What was that? Red Bull or Monster?
Jesus, Jim. What are you doing?
Take two break. What am I doing?
Red Bull.
Has my lifetime of bad decisions finally like caught up to me and just like the brain doesn't work anymore?
Oh goodness.
All right, Red Bull or Monster? That's the question.
I'll go Monster just because I like the varieties of Monster. I mean, I don't drink that shit anyway. After numerous,
we've both had heart palpitations. From
it. Like it's fucked me up to a point where I was shaking. So, but I remember taste-wise, I like Monster a lot better. And Red Bull was the old standard, especially when I played hockey. I would have like 3 of those in the morning before a game, which was a terrible idea. But I'm over Red Bull. The only time I have Red Bull nowadays is if it's like a Red Bull vodka or somebody's giving me a Jaeger. Like if you're giving me a shot with it in it, which is not smart either.
Right. Uppers and downers.
That's actually the only way I drink Red Bull. But Monster, I used to love the coffee ones. And, man. Those, and I think it was the blue one. I forget.
Blue was the low carb one.
Yeah, but no, definitely Monster for me.
Yeah, I'm a Monster guy too. My devil's drink right there was the white Boomer one. So,
of course, Jim.
That's the one I like the most.
I actually, it's
right.
Funny.
The obvious answer is Rockstar though.
Well, I was gonna say I don't think I've actually tried Rockstar. Or,
their coffee one's pretty damn good.
Or Bang or Nas. Like I know there's a lot of other things out there. I think you and I both might together had Four Locos when that was a thing.
Oh, dude, my buddies and I, we used to drink Four Locos like crazy when they first came out. When it had all the bad shit in it. Like when you could drink 2 and you would be floored.
Yeah, that was bad.
They were fucking great. I miss them.
Well, they still have them. They're just not what they were.
They are not what they were.
It's kind of like getting NyQuil these days without the actual shit that makes you sleepy.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Monster Monster.
Monster.
Jim says.
Well, that's how he wrote it. He wrote it like that. I'm the victim here.
Context, Jim. Learn how to read.
Look, I've gone this long without knowing. I don't have to learn now. All right, Eric Lewacki. Do you guys see yourselves being more active in your Twitch page in the near future? Ooh.
Yes, with the caveat.
Probably you.
But yeah, being more active meaning... I don't even want to suggest a schedule.
Is that more active than not?
It's basically...
than zero? More than zero?
Best case, once or twice a month. Just because at the point I'm at right now, the one reason why I'm not on Twitch, I used to like going on Twitch because I would basically stream it, get the footage from it, and then use that. But the problem when you get footage from Twitch itself is you got your own camera or your own audio coming through. So if I'm streaming through Twitch, then the purpose of that is so I can talk to you guys. And if I want the footage for a review or something, I don't want my audio of me talking fucking that up. And I've tried to run my rig where I'm running OBS and trying to actually like get the footage separately and the audio file separately and then stream it through Twitch, and it never worked out. My computer is good, but it's definitely not that good. So until I would get a better computer, I doubt that'll happen. But in the meantime, I probably will just stream on Twitch and maybe just do a more casual game so I can type responses back to you guys.
Actually, it's kind of crazy that your editing rig in there we've had since we started the page in friggin' 2013. Mm-hmm. Died on us a couple times, but still there. Still works.
It's clugging along, so.
All right. Next up, Game Whisperer Dean. Did you get anything in the Steam sale this year?
No, as I said to Jim, I actually bought a lot of shit on Steam during a lot of their sales throughout the years, and even less than my Xbox or PS4, where I have a whole entire external hard drives filled with games that I need to get to. That's my version of shelf collecting, when I wait for a game that's under $5 and I just buy it. I actually had a really big GOG or GOG.com, that whole service, which is basically just like Steam. But no, I'm strictly at a point now. I have to like basically allow myself to beat 5 to 10 games in my current library before I buy a new game.
I don't ever PC games, so I never touch Steam really.
He's not the gamer.
Right, I have a certain taste at this point. You'll see.
Taste of cock.
Jesus Christ.
Is there a problem with that, Jim?
I mean, yeah. But that's besides the point. All right, and finally from G to the next level. What are your guys' thoughts on the new line of arcade 1-up cabinets that were shown off at this year's CES? I almost shed a tear when I saw that beautiful Sega 5-in-1 Golden Axe Revenge of Death Adder cabinet. Cheers.
The arcade 1-up, they're all impressive, but honestly, still, as Jim and I said, I'm not going to shell out the money for them. If I can find a really good deal, somebody secondhand selling them and they're in really good condition, I'd consider it. But I don't have a place to display them right now, especially with, all the other games I have, all the other shit. So I like them, but I'm personally not going to be the one to get them.
Yeah, I mean, I know that my interest in playing it would just wane after like a week, so that's why I haven't jumped in on them. Though it is cool that like the one he mentioned, especially having Revenge of Death Adder, a game that's never been ported anywhere, like that's awesome to see. And the games that comes with it is also pretty cool. And then they've had like the Turtles in Time cabinet come out with the 4-player cab to it, and they've really stepped up their game from their initial run of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean they're cool, but it's a thing that I just can't ever see myself doing. And they actually have a line of pinball tables they have coming out. Don't you dare. No, I'm not. Because the last thing I heard, I don't think they confirmed it, but it's going to be between $500 and $700 for a table. And it's a digital screen with just like some buttons. If I'm going to be playing digital pinball, I'm just going to play it on my Switch or any of my consoles with all my pinball games anyway. Like, if you're going to buy an actual pinball machine, you want an actual pinball machine. So to me, those seem like the most ridiculous. But yeah, like I think they're a cool concept. I think they're overpriced for what they are in general, just for the quality of what they are. But, if you want to get it, have at it.
Yeah, and it's not that different, but I've decided this year I may probably build myself a dude I work with.
MAME cabinet?
Well, yeah, like with a Pi, do the full display, do the actual toggles, like I already know how to do it, how to program it, so it's just a matter of building it, and I think I'll probably build one. So maybe I'll make some videos about that, and that'll be something I'd be more likely to play because then I can basically upload limitless all the games I want to it. So,
Bri, put all the porno arcade games on there.
Jim, that's for daddy time only.
Bri, I'm a daddy too. Invite me over.
No.
Right, 2-player.
No.
All right, but with that finishes up our questions. So thanks again to all of our patrons for submitting them to us. Good questions. Sorry we couldn't get to them last time, but, we try to get to them. Make sure we get to them for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you guys.